week, I had the great pleasure of returning to Piers Morgan's show on CNN after a long and painful hiatus. Take a look.
Actually, just hear about
why on earth would Piers Morgan ban you?
I know, who would ban me from their show? I am all about making friends. I miss congeniality. I am. No, there was the story of the British soldier who was beheaded in the street, and the aftermath was captured on camera. And my whole point was, I had made some remark on Twitter that it's, like a shame that he couldn't defend, like out of all the people that you would trust to carry a firearm, why not this soldier who has a great record? He served his country. He's out on the street in London, and he was specifically targeted because of what he was and that he had served. And George goes kicking the camera right now. You keep that in there. See, this is what. It's abuse. No, and so back to a serious watch. So then I had just made the remark that it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to defend himself, because you have two guys coming at you with a machete. Pow, pow. You're done. That's it. End of conversation. There's no beheading today. And that was the only point that I made. And he got mad at me and was like, "You're exploiting this, Dana. You exploited this story. It's so awful. You're banned from my show. I'm unfollowing you." So he unfollowed me, and then he banned me. And I just listened to Joy Division for weeks on end and wrote angsty things in my journal because I was just so devastated.
Are you happy, sad, indifferent? What are your emotions?
I don't emote. Nothing. So Pat and Stu do this thing. This is one of my favorite words in the English language, by the way, douche. And they created the Douche Hall of Fame, and he was the inaugural douche.
The fact that Piers Morgan may be actively campaigning to get into the Douche Hall of Fame. I think he is. Why else would he act this way?
Which, that to me is a pretty amazing distinction. This is like epitaph material right here. And so if it went, if the interview goes the wrong way and he decides to call me Adam Lanza's mom again, I'm going to pull this bad boy up and be like, "Oh, at least I'm not winning a douche award."
You don't have to be a Christie fan, and you're not really. I think we have to say that from the start, to note the startling difference between handling of Bridgegate and NSA IRS Benghazi. Do you think there's a double standard here in the way the Democrats are going after Christie, given the way those three other scandals played out?
Yeah, well, I knew you couldn't quit me, Piers. But to answer your question, yeah, I do think that there's a difference. And I wanted to add, too, to Mark's point, which I actually agree with. I think there's a little bit of political retribution going on here with the Republican Party as well after the relief funding with Hurricane Sandy. But I do think there has been a double standard. I myself have asked many times. I wish that we could get more answers as to how involved the president was with the IRS when we knew that his top aides knew, when it went all the way up to the top, even the IRS's chief counsel. When I ask that question, I'm attacked, and other conservatives are attacked, and their characters maligned. But I have the same question with Chris Christie. I, like the other two on this panel, don't think that all the questions have been answered. I still think that there's yet more to come out. But yet when I ask that same question, what did Christie know? When did he know it? I don't see any of that criticism. And Bridgegate, in comparison to the things that we've seen with Benghazi and the IRS scandal and Fast and Furious, there was a lot more at stake with those other scandals.
I think there's like a verbal tick among conservatives that whenever you mention anything with a Republican, they have to say Benghazi. Benghazi,
a verbal tick? You call 4 dead Americans a verbal tick?
No, I call the tick. No. This is the Mark.
This is the only thing that's done. Mark, let me just say something. I actually think Dana raises a very perfectly relevant point.
Dana.
Yeah.
Hey.
He was too nice. Did somebody give him some vodka before? I don't know. He was really nice. The lesson? Yeah, there is no lesson. No, there is no lesson. No, there's no lesson. Don't back down. Never apologize. Apologize for what? Nothing. I was going to ask him to come on the show. Don't you like how that slipped my mind? Because immediately you're like, yeah, I do know how that slipped your mind. That's great, because we were counting on that for the show. So sorry about that. I'm like squirrel, and I go off somewhere. So when Mark Lamont said that, that's where I was immediately. I still won't emote.